just a few years ago, I heard the gunshots and I came out and there was a young man that had fallen on my front step. And he was still alive, so I grabbed his hand. I'm holding his hand. I'm actually praying with him and just waiting with him while the ambulance came. And they came and they carried him away. And we found out the next morning that he had died. And he was 19 years old. His name was Papito. And there kind of comes a moment where Dr. Martin Luther King said it so well. He said, we're all called to be the Good Samaritan and lift our neighbor out of the ditch. But after you lift so many people out of the ditch, you start to say, maybe we need to rethink the whole road to Jericho. We need to reimagine the whole road to make sure that people don't keep ending up in the ditch over and over again. And so after Papito died, we did a number of things. It was kind of a moment where we said enough, and we began doing some of our services in the streets, because this was the season when he died, was the season before Easter, where many of us from the Christian tradition sort of remember the season of Lent and even the Holy Week before Easter. We decided, instead of keeping our worship inside, we would do some of our worship in the streets. And one of the most powerful moments was on Good Friday, the Friday before Easter, when Jesus, we remember Jesus' execution and his death. We had our services in front of the gun shop, just 2 blocks from our house. Some of you may have been there. It was called the Shooter Shop. And it's one of the most notorious gun shops in America for having guns sold there that are then used in violent crimes. And so the young men in my neighborhood carried a cross and they put it in front of the gun shop. And we read the story that's very familiar to me of Jesus' death and the women weeping at the foot of the cross, the passion of Christ as he died on the cross on Good Friday. And then we ended up really feeling moved to invite the moms and dads who had lost their kids to share their story. And so one after another began to share the story of losing their own kids. And there was something that happened where it was like the suffering of Jesus met the suffering of our neighborhood, where the tears of the moms at the foot of the cross 2,000 years ago met the tears of the moms in our neighborhood. And we were all deeply moved. We had one of the rabbis was there that said, I don't come to a lot of Good Friday services, but I sure am moved by this one, And we had this one woman that came up afterwards, and she's very emotional, and she says, I get it. And I said, what? And she said, God knows what it feels like to lose your son. It was Papito's mom.